Narsimha's incarnation is also special compared to other incarnations. So few incarnations are special. Otherwise, other incarnations, paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkrita, dharma samsthapanarthaya, sambhavami, yuge yuge, in every yuga. Whenever there is disturbance due to irreligion flourishing, and that irreligion flourishes when demons become very powerful, and the devatas are unable to control the demons, then the Lord appears whenever and wherever. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Dharma means law and order. All the saintly persons are protected, and all the demons are, of course, the demons and demigods both belong to the Supreme Lord. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Mamayivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. All belong to Krishna. But still, some part and parcels, they have acquired a demoniac nature by wrong association. In this material world, the gunas work in such a way that sattva guna promotes divine characteristics, and rajoguna and tamoguna promote demoniac qualities. That's why so much stress is given in the Vedic culture. People should, if they want peace, prosperity, if they want real happiness, if they want all good things in life, Sattva-guna is essential. And the speciality of Kali Yuga is, Kali is Kali Yuga described in the beginning of the Bhagavatam. Sattvaharam pumsam. In Kali Yuga, most people have Rajoguna and Tamoguna prominent in their character. But some people have some Sattva-guna still left. This is the last in the cycle of 4 yugas. Satya Yuga, most people are Sattvic. And Kali Yuga, very, very few people are Sattvic. And those people who have some Sattva-guna left in Kali Yuga, as Kali influence increases, that Sattva-guna also will keep on reducing. Sattva-haram, this Kali Prabhava takes away Kali, this Sattva-guna's characteristics or influence. Diminishes, keeps on diminishing. So, Krishna is always active, whether in the spiritual world or the material world. He is always active. Every moment he is active. He is present everywhere. In the material world, in the spiritual world, in all different forms, different potencies. He's present, fully present everywhere. But Krishna, he gives us some very, very little independence because we are his part and parcel. We belong to him. So he gives us little independence. And our coming to this material world is the beginning of the misuse of our independence. This is the beginning of the misuse of our independence, coming to the material world. And having come to the material world, having misused our independence, our misuse of independence continues in material existence. But even if people misuse their independence, this is the common characteristic of material existence. Still, Krishna's arrangement is that Sattva Guna, material nature, is acting. That's the characteristic of material world. Material nature is acting. Spiritual world, spiritual nature is acting. Yogamaya. Yogamaya means simply everybody wants to serve Krishna. So Yogamaya, I described this previous class. Yogamaya simply makes all nice arrangements for devotees to serve Krishna and for Krishna to please his devotees. Yogamaya simply makes on arrangements. She is also happy, Krishna is happy, devotees are happy, everybody is happy. That is spiritual world. But we should remember, we are in the material world. Material nature is working. Why this material nature is working? Because the jivas here in this material world, they have come here because they have misused their independence. And in the material world, they continue to abuse and misuse their independence. You see, even the government wants to rule the citizens, and the primary intent of the government in ruling the citizens is to do welfare activities for the people in general. That's the meaning of government. Now, but to do welfare activity, the atmosphere should be proper, no? That's why we see any government welfare scheme, there will be some people who will abuse, misuse some facility or some opportunity. And then government, whose actual real program is welfare of the citizens, when some misuse or abuse happens, they have to deal with that also. They cannot allow that. Otherwise, all their schemes will be completely, spoiled. Welfare activity itself will be spoiled. So therefore, government has got police department, criminal department. Actually, the real intent of the government is not that there should be criminal department, there should be punishment, there should be jail. This is not the intent of the government. So therefore, because people misuse, people abuse, that is basically because they are misusing their independence. They're misusing their independence. Therefore, verse chanting is not over. Okay, I thought I began the lecture. Thank you for reminding me. So this chapter, I just wanted to mention this title of the chapter, you should always remember, otherwise you will not get the connection. So Krishna shows his universal form not for the sake of his devotees, not for the sake of the Brajavasis, not for even Mother Yashoda. Of course, here, when he shows his universal form, it's only Mother Yashoda who sees that. Nobody else sees that. Even when Krishna showed to Arjuna, the battlefield, except Arjuna, maybe few others saw it. Mostly the demigods in the upper planets who had that divine vision, they could see. Sanjaya could see. That's all. Not many people could see the universal form. So he shows universal form for the sake of us ordinary persons who are hearing about Krishna's activities. That Krishna is not an ordinary person with some yogic power, mystic power. No. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's got unlimited powers. So showing universal form is no big thing for Krishna. Neither is it any big thing for the devotees, universal form. Arjuna apparently saw the universal form, he was completely terrified. But what did Krishna do? Oh, let me now get you out of this feeling of fear. He showed him his 400 form and 200 form. Arjuna became completely composed. Became completely composed. All his fear is gone, his bewilderment is gone, everything is gone. Then offers wonderful glorification of Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashwatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam Vibhum. Perfectly he speaks. Because he is a devotee of Krishna. He knows who is Krishna. So the universal form was not meant for Arjuna. It's meant for all of us. Similarly, all of Krishna Leela, while Krishna says Paritrana sadhuna, to protect the devotees don't require protection because devotees don't have any danger. Devotees don't have danger. It is danger for the weaker section of the society who are not as powerful as the demons. Because material world is filled with what? All rebellious souls. All those who misuse their independence. But even among them, some misuse and abuse too much. And they somehow gather power and they try to exploit the others. So to stop that exploitation, Krishna protects the weaker and controls the stronger demons. Even kills them if required. Destroys them. Vinashaya dushkrita. So that Krishna does in his various incarnations and his various agents, including Durga. Everybody is engaged in that. But the speciality about these few incarnations very special. So they display something more than just protecting the devotees, killing the demons, re-establishing religious principles. More than that, these few incarnations, Narasimha, Rama, and of course Krishna, these few incarnations are special. They display something more. What is that something more? The glory of their devotees and their own glory. Krishna's glory about his loving reciprocation with his confidential devotees. Confidential devotees. So, that particular aspect of the Supreme Lord, that he is engaged in loving pastimes with his devotees in his personal abode, that is not so much displayed in the material world when the Lord incarnates. Because purpose of incarnation is different. But he also displays that sometimes, very rarely. And as Krishna, still different than the incarnation of Rama, Narasimha, etc., he only displays that and nothing else. Krishna does not display any of his powers, does not display his maintenance features as Krishna. He never displays. And that will be very evident here in this today's verse. That's why I gave this background. He's showing the universal form is one of his confidential pastimes. Okay. So text number 7. Shri Garga Vacha Yadunam Aham Acharyaha Yadunam Aham Acharyaha Khyataha Cha Bhuvi Sarvada Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvada Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam Manyate Devaki Sutam Shri Garga Vacha Yaduna Mahamacharyaha Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvada Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam Shri Garga Vacha Yaduna Mahamacharyaha Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvada Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Janyate Devaki Sutam Shri Garga Vacha Yaduna Mahamacharyaha Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvada Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam Shri Garga Vacha Yaduna Mahamacharyaha Khyatascha Bhuvi Sarvada Sutam Maya Samskritam Te Manyate Devaki Sutam Shri Garga Vacha Garga Muni said, Yaduna of the Yadu dynasty, Aham, I am, Acharyaha, the priestly guide or Purohita, Khyataha cha, This is already known. Bhuvi, everywhere. Sarvada, always. Sutam, the sun. Maya, by me. Samskritam, having undergone the purificatory process. Te, of you. Manyate, would be considered. Devaki Sutam, the son of Devaki. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Garga Muni said, "My dear Nanda Maharaj, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki." Please repeat this translation. Garga Muni said, "My dear Nanda Maharaj, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Garga Muni indirectly disclosed that Krishna was the son of Devaki, not of Yashoda. Since Kamsa was already searching for Krishna, if the purificatory process were undertaken by Garga Muni, Kamsa might be informed, and that would create a catastrophe. It may be argued that although Garga Muni was a priest of the Yadu dynasty, Nanda Maharaj also belonged to that dynasty. Nanda Maharaj, however, was not acting as a Kshatriya. Therefore, Garga Muni said, "If I act as your priest, this will confirm that Krishna is the son of Devaki." Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshita. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So the chapter begins with Shukadeva Goswami telling Parikshit Maharaj, the priest of the Yadu dynasty, Gargacharya or Garga Muni, was highly elevated in austerity and penance, was inspired by Vasudeva to go see Nanda Maharaj at his home. So Vasudeva had sent Garga Muni, was a priest of the Yadu dynasty, to Nanda Maharaj's house because Vasudeva was secretly hiding Krishna and Balaram, who were both his sons, in Nanda Gokula, in Nanda Maharaj's house. So Vasudeva was also concerned that these two sons should not be asamskrita. They should not go without any samskaras. So to perform the samskara, requested Garga Muni, please perform the samskara, go there and do it. But again, Vasudeva also had the fear of Kamsa. So obviously they would have discussed, what about the safety of these children when they're hiding there? So therefore, Gargamuni has already come to perform it secretly, the samskara. So here he is telling, and Nanda Maharaj did not know all these. Vasudeva is hiding Krishna. Of course, Nanda Maharaj knew Vasudeva is hiding Balaram, the son of Rohini. Because Rohini herself was one of the queens of Vasudeva. And because so many atrocities by Kamsa and other demons also, so the members of the Yadu dynasty were saintly persons. They were all hiding from these miscreants. So many of the smaller kings or their family members were not living in the capital city Mathura, which was dominated by Kamsa. So Rohini, to whose womb secretly Balaram was transferred by Krishna's arrangement through Yogamaya, even though Balaram also first appeared as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Appeared means not, Devaki did not deliver the seventh pregnancy, but even when the child was in the womb, after 7 months, the child was transferred from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. And as far as others are concerned, Rohini gave birth to a son in Nanda Maharaj's house. So, Nanda Maharaj knew, Yashoda knew, Rohini knew that Balaram is not the son of Nanda and Yashoda, but is the son of Vasudeva and Rohini. This is what they knew. All of them knew. But Krishna, Nanda and Yashoda, Rohini, everyone thought Krishna is son of Nanda and Yashoda, that's all. So Vasudeva, who knew, and Gargamuni also could understand, because he makes this astrological calculations. And from that he finds out which child is born to which parents. Astrological science is like that. Perfect. Perfect science. So, Gargamuni also had come to perform secretly this samskara. But when Nanda Maharaj saw Gargamuni, he didn't know what the purpose of Gargamuni. He said, I am very blessed that you have come to my house. We are all householders who forget our real self-interest and we become busy with family affairs and business and cow protection and agriculture and taxes and all these things. And we are not so much careful about our real self-interest, self-realization, spiritual advancement. We forget that. But saintly persons like you come and remind us. So I'm very, very grateful that you have come. Please perform samskara for this Krishna and Balaram, because so many atrocities of Kamsa, therefore I could not do anything so far. So then Gargamuni is now replying to Kamsa request, the request of Nanda Maharaj, telling, please remember that I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. And this is very well known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, now again, he's telling your sons, he's referring to Krishna and Balaram both. Why? Because Vasudeva had indicated to Nanda Maharaj that the child which will be born of Rohini, who is under the shelter of Nanda Maharaj, even though the child's father is Vasudeva, the child should not think my father is not there at home. So, in other words, the child should think that my father is Nanda Maharaj and my mother is Rohini. The father and mother are these two. So, therefore, what is he telling Garga Muni? If I perform the purificative process for your sons, Krishna and Balaram, the two sons, Nanda Maharaj is like the considered as the father of Balaram, though he is not the father. Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki. Manyate Devaki Sutam. Kamsa will think they are Devaki's sons. Sons of Devaki. Now, Kamsa, what happened? First 6 sons of Vasudeva and Devaki, Kamsa killed them. 7th son he thought was a miscarriage. The child died in the womb of the mother. And the 8th son, no 8th son, only 8th daughter. 8th daughter, he thought, how come a baby girl is born? The 8th child is supposed to be the cause of my death. How come this child is born as a female? But that female child escaped and then said, you rascal, don't be cruel to your poor sister. You know, the child which is supposed to kill you is already born somewhere else. I am not that child of a child of Vasudeva and Devaki. I am not their child. The child which is supposed to kill you is already born somewhere. Don't be cruel to poor sister. So he thought, Kamsa thought, oh, Devaki and Vasudeva are not the cause of any problem for me. Why did I unnecessarily kill their children? And he released them. And then he's consulting his ministers what to do. So a child is born somewhere else. So then they all scheme and plot. Kill all the children who are born the last few days. So that child also should be killed away. Through Kamsa's agents. Not by Kamsa directly. Because they'll disguise and go and do something. Like he sent Putana. He sent Trunavarta. Shikatasura. Already the description has been given so far. So, the fear of Kamsa was already known to Kamsa trying to kill newborn children, was already known to Nanda Maharaj. Therefore, when Nanda Maharaj was going to pay taxes after Krishna's that birth ceremony, he actually posted some guards because there was news that some Rakshasi is going around and killing, coming disguised and killing small children. So many of them she had killed in the neighborhood of Mathura. So many she had killed. Nanda Maharaj also staying in the neighborhood of Mathura. So he wants to protect his child. He didn't have children for a long time. After a long time, he got a son. So naturally, he'll want to protect his child against the atrocities of those Rakshasis or whoever is secretly come and killing so many children. So he posted guards. Now he is carefully protecting his son. And then he came to know that some Dhatri, some nurse, beautiful nurse had entered his house, come to see Krishna, and then Krishna somehow was protected. Even though that Dhatri turned out to be some big Rakshasi, Putana. And then Trunavarta, he tried to kill Shikatasura. Shikatasura, of course, they could not make out. Nothing. they could know about Shakatasura. Trinavarta, he also fell down dead. So they could not make out that Trinavarta had come to kill Krishna. But anyway, Trinavarta was also dead. So Nanda Maharaj had the fear of Kamsa's atrocities. Therefore, as soon as Garga Muni cautioned him that if I perform the purificatory process of your sons, Kamsa may suspect that the child which is supposed to have taken birth elsewhere, he has taken birth here. That's why Garga Muni is performing, the Acharya of the Yadu dynasty is performing the samskara. Because the child belongs to Yadu dynasty, Vasudeva's son. Correct. So, in such a way that Kamsa should not come to know, I may do it. That's what is going to come in the later verses. So many details are given later. But here, basically he is telling that you cannot have a big celebration of this Namakarana Samskara, name-giving ceremony. You cannot have a big festival for your sons. Well, Nanda Maharaj is the king of the cowherd men. He is the leader. Nanda Maharaj. And obviously, when son was born, he had a big festival. And every, special occasion, he will have a very big festival. And then it will become well known that this festival was observed. Garga Muni was presiding and he did the Namkarana. Why Garga Muni is doing in a Vaishya's house? What is he doing? So therefore, Garga Muni is warning Nanda Maharaj that this has to be done secretly. This cannot be done publicly. Of course, this Garga Muni is protecting Vasudeva's interest. That's why he's telling this. That's why Prabhupada says, Garga Muni indirectly disclosed that Krishna was the son of Devaki, not of Yashoda. Indirectly he hinted, that's all. But his real purpose was the purpose for which he was sent by Vasudeva. You have to do this samskara, but don't do it in such a way that it will be publicly known. Especially we should hide against Kamsa coming to know of this. So therefore, Garga Muni indicated, indirectly he said, actually this child is not your son. But Nanda Maharaj, having fear of some dangerous attacks by Kamsa or Kamsa's men or some Rakshasis or some miscreants, whatever, he was always anxious to protect Krishna in every possible way. So therefore he took this hint as, I should be very careful not to publicize this event. And that is what will be described in the next few verses. So I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki